Well, good evening, everybody. It's really good to be here. First of all, I think everybody here who is here on a cold night in Rocky Mountain House deserves a round of applause for coming up and standing up for our community tonight. Now, I know it's cold, so I'm going to just stick to a couple of clear facts. First is this. Since this process started just a few months ago, we've had to deal with an NDP environment minister who has continually lied to our community. Lied about the RCMP. Lied about consultation that is not happening, has had secret invite-only meetings, has forgot about the whole town of Sundre that is south of us that is part of this, forgot it even existed. But the worst lie that has come from the NDP during this process is that our First Nation communities were consulted. That is absolutely ridiculous. It is clear tonight that our friends of the Ochese Nation, the Bighorn Nation, the Sunchild Nation, our friends of the Métis Nation have not been consulted, Minister. It's very, very clear. And you must work with communities when you do these type of changes. You cannot sit up in your ivory tower in Edmonton and come and tell the people that live here how things are going to be. It will not be accepted. Now, I will point out to you, in all of these meetings, we don't see one NDP elected person arriving to spend time with you. Because you know why I think that is? Well, I think the one is they don't want to hear what you have to say. But about 3.5 years ago, Rachel Notley, our premier, called Alberta the most embarrassing cousin in Confederation. And the only thing I could think of why she continues to sit up in Edmonton and announce things like this behind, get this, guys. When she announced this proposal, she brought in a fake backdrop of the mountains in Edmonton and announced it in downtown Edmonton rather than having at least the courtesy to come to our communities. Well, I can tell you, Shannon Phillips and Premier Notley and the NDP, I am not embarrassed about our community. I am proud of the Ochese Nation. I am proud of the Sunchild Nation. I am proud of the Bighorn Nation. I'm proud of the Métis Nation. I'm proud of Rocky Mountain House. I'm proud of Nordegg. I'm proud of Clearwater County. These are people that have worked for generations to be able to preserve this area so that we can enjoy it now and that we can enjoy it for the future. These are the people that should decide the future of their home backyard, not bureaucrats sitting in some ivory tower in Edmonton. It is not acceptable. It is not acceptable. But it's made even worse. You know, I always say when I'm in Rocky Mountain House, we're in a community that was founded in 1799, which is a long time ago for Alberta, but those communities to the west of us, the Sunchild, the Ochese, and the Bighorn, they've been around a lot longer than that, and they are not going to accept the NDP ramming something through on their traditional lands. It is completely unacceptable. We will not accept it. So it's cold, so I'm going to close up with two things. Just know this, that we will not. Now, I agree. The minister, if she's looking for my advice, she doesn't seem to want my advice. Maybe she should start listening, because she always goes on news and says it's just Jason and a couple of friends that are causing troubles. Well, I got a lot more than a couple of friends on this one, Minister, and we're not going to accept it. So you have not done your job right. You have not consulted. You definitely haven't consulted properly with First Nations. Stop your plan. Don't ram it through before an election. Call an election. Let Albertans decide the future of our province. That's number one. Number two, if the NDP force this through in the next couple of weeks, they should not. They should call an election. But if they force it through, a united Conservative government, and let me be very clear about this, will not accept a sham process that has happened. We will immediately reverse it, and we will immediately go back to the North Saskatchewan Regional Plan and stand with our communities, stand with our First Nation communities first and foremost, but also stand with our communities here in Rocky Mountain House. So know that this election matters. Know that. This election matters, my friends. I don't always try to talk about that at these type of events, but it's important now. We are weeks away from an election starting, and think about this when you go to the ballot box. Up in Edmonton right now is all the NDP MLAs. None of them have the courtesy to even come down here and visit with these communities, but they want to put in huge changes. It is ridiculous. It's unacceptable. Let's fire them in a few weeks, and let's put a government in power that will listen to us.
Thank you, Jason Nixon. Oh, he's got some fire, that one. Mark Smith's going to come up. He's our MLA in our